Hello everyone, welcome back to InnoSkit. So today in this video we are going to solve the second problem of Uber Premium Card. So let's see the problem, what the problem says, and let's see how we can approach to that problem. Okay, so the problem is find first and last position of element in sorted array. Let's read the problem. Given an array of integer nums sorted in non-decreasing order, find the starting and ending position of the given target value. If the target is not found in the array, return -1, -1. You must write an algorithm with O of log n runtime complexity. So basically, the array is sorted, right, and you want to find the first and last index of some element, right? So since the problem is related to search, the question itself says that you have to compute it in log n time, right? If it is not mentioned in the problem statement as well, then also you should try to approach to a problem in O of log n time, because the array is sorted and you want to search something, you want to search the index of some element, right? So let's see how we can proceed with the problem. What should be the approach? Basically we know that we'll have to apply the binary search on it. If you don't know the concept of binary search, first go through the binary search and then come back to this problem. So basically, let's say we have an array having 9 elements and we want to search the first and last index of 8 in it, right? So first of all, we have a problem in which we have to find first and last index of the target variable. Like, let's try to break this problem in first index and last index. So first we'll try to find out the first index of that element and then we'll calculate the last index of that element. So let's try to see how we can find out the first index of the element. So in binary search, what we do, we start from 2 pointers having start at 0, end at 8, right? Then we check whether start is less than equals to end. If this is true, we go to, we check whether start is less than equals to end, right? We check something like this, right? So if this is true, we calculate the mid. So 0 plus 8 divided by 2 will be 4. So that means 4 is the mid. So now we check whether this mid is equals to our target element. If this is equals to our target element, we return our answer, right? So this is what we do in binary search. But in this problem, we want to calculate the first index of the target variable. So since we have got 8, that means this can be our index. This can be our first index, right? So this 4 can be our first index. But since you want to know the first index, you want to know the first index of 8. So what should you do? Can you find the first index? Either the first index is this only, right? Or the first index will be on the left side, right? You can never get your first index on the right side, right? If you are currently at the same element, you will have to go to left to find out the first index of that element. So let's see. So what we should do, we should decrement our end to mid -1, right? So we come to this end. Now let's try to find out mid. We'll again try to calculate mid. So mid will be 0 plus 3 divided by 2, that will be 1. Now we are at this. So this is our mid. So we'll check whether 7 is equals to 8. No, right? 7 is lesser than 8. But now we'll have to again reduce our search space. If we are currently at 7, since the array is sorted, we can never get our 8 to this portion, right? So we'll have to move to the right portion of the array. So what we'll do, since the current index is not equals to 8, we'll increment our start by mid plus 1. So what we'll do, we'll shift our start pointer to this, right? So now start is at 2, and and is at 3, and we are trying to again calculate the mid. So 2 plus 3 is equals to 5 divided by 2 will be 2. So now mid will be this start only, right? So let me point out this mid. So now mid is this. So again we are at 7. We are at 7. What we did? We did 2 plus 3 divided by 2 and we get 2. Now we are at this 7. So is 7 is equals to 8? No, 7 is lesser than 8. That means our 8 will lie something on the right side. So again we'll increment our start pointer by mid plus 1. So let's increment our start pointer. So now start and end will both point to 3, right? Start and end will both point to 3. So now when you will try to find out mid, let's try to find out mid. So 3 plus 3 divided by 2 will be 3. 6 divided by 2 will be 3. So our mid is also 3. So again we will check whether 8 is equals to 8. If 8 is equals to 8, our index is currently 4, right? But since when we encountered this fourth index, we knew that there might be a possibility that we have 8 on the left hand side of the array, right? So we went to that left hand side, and now from this left hand side we encountered one more 8, right? So that means our first index will get updated to 3, right? So now after this, since our first index has been updated to 3, now at this point we know that there might be a possibility that there is one more 8 to this portion of the array, right? So what we'll do, we'll again decrement our pointer. So let me remove everything. So we are at this position right now, and we know that there might be a possibility that we may encounter one more 8 on the left hand side. So what we do, we'll decrement our end pointer by one position, right? So we'll decrement our end pointer to this. So now the end will point to 2 and start will point to this, right? So now we'll again check whether start is less than equals to end. Now end is 2 and start is 3, but the condition is not true. So that means our from this point we have encountered all the possibilities to search for first position of 8 in the array. Now at the end we'll return our first index. Now let's say in this case 8 is present in the array, but there might be a possibility that 8 is not present in the array, right? So in that case we should return -1. That means whenever we are checking whether nums mid is equals to our target, so that means we should not go inside this condition because we have not encountered target at any point, right? So that means we should start our first index as -1. So initialize it with -1 and update it whenever this condition meets. Whenever this condition gets true, update the first index by the current mid of the current mid, because current mid is the index of that particular element or the target variable. So this is how we can calculate the first index of the particular element. So let's see the steps. So what we did, first of all, whatever we did until this condition gets until the condition gets false, right? So start should be less than equals to end for us to work, right? So this should be true. If this is true, we calculated our mid. After calculating our mid, what we checked whether the value at current mid is equals to target. If this is equals to target, that means this is one of the possibility that this is the first index of our element, right? So we updated our index by mid. And because we know that we are currently at this mid and we have that value which is equals to a target value. So now there might be a possibility that we can encounter the first index of that particular element on the left side of the array. So we updated our end by mid -1, right? Now there are some more possibilities. First one is equal, now lesser if the mid element is lesser and if the mid element is greater. So if it is greater, let me write the conditions. Okay, so whenever the mid element is equals to target, we know that it is a possibility that this can be our starting index of the element. So we updated the value of mid into our index. Now we know that currently we are at element, and now there might be a possibility that we can encounter the same element on the left hand side. So we updated our mid as mid minus 1. If it is not the case, if they are not equal, right, so there might be two possibility. If array mid is less than the target value, or it is greater than the target value. If it is less than the target value, that means if the current mid is lesser than the target value, our value will lie on the right hand side. So we updated our start as mid plus 1. But if the mid value is greater, that means our value will lie on the left hand side. So we updated our end as mid minus 1. So this is how you can calculate the starting index of the element, of the target element. Now let's see how you can calculate the ending index of the element. If you understood the concept of starting index, it is very easy to understand the concept of ending index, right? So let's see. So in the starting index, if we encounter that particular element, we say that this might be our starting index. But now similarly, when we are talking about ending index, we say that this might be our ending index, but it may be possible that the ending index is on the right hand side. So rather than exploring the left hand side this time, we are exploring the right hand side of the array, right? So let's see. So we are starting from this position, and these are the positions of starting and ending, right? After that, we'll see whether start is less than equals to end. Condition true, will go to our mid. Mid will be this. Now at this point, at this particular point, we know that this is possible that our, we'll first check whether the mid is equals to our target. If mid is equals to our target, that means our last index can be this. Can be same as this index, which is 4. So let's update the last index as 4. But we also know that there might be a possibility the last index will lie on the right hand side. So what we will do, we'll update our start pointer. So now start will come to this mid, right? So what we did, if our nums mid is equals to our target, right? If our nums mid is equals to our target, what we did, we updated our last index and we also updated our start index. This was the first condition. Now let's see. Now start is this, end is this. We'll again calculate the mid. So 8 and 5, 13. 13 divided by 2 will be 6, right? So our mid will be this. So since our mid, now again we will check whether mid is equals to target element. If mid is not equals to target element, we will check whether it is lesser or it is greater. So now we can clearly see that the mid is greater. That means our element, our target element will lie something on the left hand side. So what we will do in this case, if our current element is greater, our mid element is greater, we'll update our end pointer. We'll update our end pointer by mid minus 1. So this will be our end pointer, right? So what we did, okay, so now since our mid element was greater than target, we updated end as mid minus 1. So now currently start is at 5, end is at 5. Now when we calculate our mid, it will be pointing to fifth element only. So now we'll check whether nums mid is equals to target. If nums mid is equals to target, we'll update our last index by 5 and we'll update our start pointer by mid plus 1. So now start will come to 6. So now end is 5, start is 6. And our condition will get failed, right? So we'll come out of the loop and we'll return the last index. Again, there might be a possibility that the current target value is not available or not present in your array. So if it is not present, you should return minus 1. So let's initialize the last index as minus 1 initially at the top of your processing, right? So if you will never encounter your target variable, you will directly return minus 1 from your array, right? So this is the code for our start. This is the code for your starting index of the array. So what did we change? If you will see, nums mid if nums mid is greater than target, if nums mid is greater than target, we updated and as mid minus 1 and start as mid plus 1. So this is the same thing we did for start, right? This is the same thing we did for start. The change is in this if condition. So if the element is equal, what we did, we updated the last index as mid, we updated our start index as mid, and in the last index we calculated start is equals to mid plus 1, and in the starting index we calculated and we updated and as mid minus 1. So there is just a difference of one line, start is equals to mid plus 1, right? And since what we are doing, we are first calculating the first index and then we are calculating last index. For finding out the first index and the last index, we are using binary search since the array was sorted. So for finding first index, we took log n time. For calculating last index, we took log n time. So that means the final complexity for this algorithm will be O of log n time only. And also we did not take any extra space, we just maintained two variables, first index and last index, and we just applied binary search to calculate the first index and last index. Now let's try to see the code for this approach. So basically what we did, we first calculated first index, then second index, and then finally we returned both the index. So basically we calculated first index, last index, and then finally we returned both the index. So I created one function which will calculate the first index and last index. So let's implement this function. So since we know that there is just a difference of one line in calculating first index and last index, so I am maintaining a boolean variable that will tell us whether we want to find out first index or the last index. So let's see. First I said I'll maintain an index as minus 1. So initialize an index as minus 1. Now we'll check whether start is less than equals to end. If it is true, we'll do some work. So what is that work? After calculating mid, we'll see if the element at mid is equals to target. If yes, what we will do? Now we have two conditions. If this is first index, we'll do something, right? And else we'll do something. But there is for sure we'll have to do one thing, and that is we'll have to update our index as mid, right? Else if nums mid if greater than your target, and else if it is smaller than this target, right? And at the end we'll have to return index. Fine. So if nums mid is greater than your target value, that means if nums mid is greater than your target value, that means you will get your answer on the left side. So when you will get the answer on the left side, we'll update the end as mid minus 1. Else we'll update the start as mid plus 1. Fine. Now if we are talking about first index, let's say you encountered your element, right, and you are still searching for your first index. So that means your answer will lie on the left hand side, else your answer will lie on the right hand side. So when the answer will lie on the left hand side, we'll update our end as minus 1, and if the answer will lie on the right hand side, we'll update our start as mid plus 1, and then finally we can return index. So let's try to run this and see. Okay, and the answer is 3,4. Let's try to submit this, and it is accepted. So this is how we can calculate the first and last index of any element. If the array was not sorted, you can simply traverse the array and calculate the first and last index. But since there is a condition that the array is sorted, right, it is not worth to take O of n time. So let's go for binary search and take and perform the operation in O of log n time, right? So this is how you should approach to a problem. Let's try to relate the problem with other approaches you have already learned, right, and then try to solve the problem. So I hope you understood and you learned something new in this video. Let's meet in the another video. We'll again try to solve something new in the next video. Till then, keep learning. Thank you.